Hey everybody, welcome back to my small garage machine shop. So laid out in front of us here, I have kind of a pile of things that as I was cleaning, I came across and I thought, this is important. And I put certain things aside. And then as I was going through a second time and kind of putting stuff away, I realized that some of this stuff was important for a good reason. Some of it was that I didn't remember I had the tool, and I found it. Certain things I found and then realized, oh, there's another part of that, and it's over here, and I've been looking for it, or whatever. And some of this stuff is just stuff I want to share with you guys because, it's kind of been a game changer for me. And I'm not going to tell you what's what here. I even have some bluing solution. Excuse me. I even have some bluing solution because I did a little bit of modifying to one of these holders here, and it was too wide when I got it. And so I had to mill it down, and of course I wasn't happy with it being bare metal, so I started messing around with certain bluing solutions and things like that, and I think I found one that works really well for this type of application. Now, as far as gun bluing goes, I know nothing about it. I can't tell you the first thing about it. But I can tell you that this stuff is excellent. So we're going to go through each one of these individually, talk about the good things. Obviously, there's not too many bad things about much of this stuff here. But we'll go through them individually, break them down, and hopefully you guys will get some use out of this. All right? Let me clear the table off, and we'll talk about them. Alrighty guys, so let's talk about the first thing here. I kind of started with the simplest one. So this clean bore, Black Magic gun bluing. Made in the USA. It says right on the bottle, the best gunsmith cold blue available, produces deep, dark, penetrating finish. Who doesn't want that? So alright, so I'll start with the story. So here is the tool holder I bought on Amazon, okay? Now this was advertised as 3/4. This one here is 5/8. I only put this here for the finish comparison. So of similar cheap quality. I forget the company who made these. I'd have to look to double check, but I know they were Amazon. A name I've heard, but not with lathe tooling. So I was kind of tentative, but I thought, hey, it was cheap. I think it was like $20, $15, whatever it was. So I bought it. Upon getting it home, I realized that in my CXA tool holder, which goes up to 3/4, it would not fit. And I measured it and realized that it was over by about 30 thousandths, I think. So I figured, you know what, I'm not going to just let this thing go to waste. Let me mill it down. So I took it, and on the backside here, I milled her down a little, and then of course it was a raw finish there, and I thought, this is no good. So I got a little gun bluing, and I started experimenting with them, and some of them were, at least for this application, guys, I don't know that much about gun bluing, so I really can't say, I'm doing the process exactly as it should be done. I follow the directions on the bottle, that's really all I can tell you, but doing it as per the directions on the bottle, this one by far produced the best finish. What I ended up doing was, I sanded this completely down, and refinish the entire thing. Now, did it come out perfect? No, but it is much better than it would be if it just had a steel. It'd be all rusty and nasty, so it's some form of protection. And in my mind, it actually looks just as good as this one here, which I guess isn't really saying much, but the fact is, if you just need to blue something apart real quick, I had really good luck with this stuff. I've also used the hot oil technique, but it's kind of a pain, and it stinks. And for doing it in the garage, this stuff has no smell to it. You put on a pair of rubber gloves, and you have at it with a cotton swab, or those foam paint brushes I found work really well. And then of course, finishing with oil is actually really important. I found that once the bluing was wiped off, I wouldn't even rinse it. I would take oil, WD-40, and I'd put it on there, or a little bit of, just like a regular machine oil, 3-in-1 oil, and I'd rub it into the steel and let it sit overnight, and that really helped to richen up the finish. And then of course, the next day you wipe it off, you clean it off, and this is the end result. So really happy with this stuff. I probably tried, I'm going to say 6 or 7 8 maybe different brands, and this one definitely was the clear winner for me. Not cheap. I think it's about $13 for that small bottle, but you know it really does go a long way, and you can reuse it if you keep it clean. All right, so there's number one. Let me get the next thing set up here. Okay, guys, so the next one up here is going to be kind of a 2-for-1 deal. I was going to separate these two, but I decided that it'd be easier just to kind of combine them. So this is a 3-jaw chuck. I'll kind of tilt it up here so you can see. It's a little 3-jaw chuck. Okay, self-centering. I believe it's a 3-inch guy, and it is live. So you could put this in your tailstock, and you can grab. Let's say you have hollow tubing you're working on. This thing works great, and I did test it, and this one at least is very accurate. So you know it comes with 2 little pins that you stick in these holes here. You know, and you just tighten it down and loosen it that way. So it works really nice. Now, of course, they do make these in bigger sizes. And for the pacemaker, I was thinking maybe I have a 6-inch chuck that I could salvage from my other machine and make a live center for this using that 3-inch chuck. This same exact situation, just with a bigger. That's how much I really like this thing. Now, the other interesting point is you can take it off here. This unscrews, it's threaded in the back here. You can unscrew this and put it in your rotary table and grab small parts. So, just a second use for it, which, as guys at home, you want to make the most, get the most bang for your buck. And that's kind of where we segue into this guy. So this is an MT, I think this was MT3 to MT4, I believe. Yeah. So, if you have 2 machines, you don't have to double buy. You can buy this adapter for $15 on Amazon, and you slip it on the back here, like so, and now you've got yourself an MT4. And I found them to be, again, really accurate. And this one does have the little, let me turn it here. This one does have the little ejector slot, so you can break the taper there, because that could be a pain sometimes. So great little tool, and many uses for them. I'm sure some I haven't even mentioned here. All right, so let's get on to the next one. Okay, guys, I'm going to level with you here. This is a great tool. This one, little digital level, about $40 on Amazon. What I really like about this thing is that it has a reference. So if your machine's not level, which of course mine's not, you can zero it to that machine. So then you can, again, for exact work, you're not going to want to do this. But this is just like a handy little tool to have for something you're just trying to bang out that doesn't have to be highly accurate. It works really well. Shows you in degrees in the readout. Unfortunately, I can't tilt it up because it shows an error. So I can't get it on the camera. But a great little tool for the money. It's got a magnetic base on it, so it stays on stuff. Of course, it has still has the little old school bubble levels here, and you can see this is on the pacemaker, and you can see it's hard to tell because of course it's on a towel, but it's pretty close. But great little tool for the money, and I think if you have one, you might find some uses for it. Okay, guys, so here's a quick, easy one for you. This is Char's tool, 90-degree chamfering end mill, 1/4 by 3/4 by half. The part number is 4049254. This takes a TCMT insert, so a real common insert, and I just get the cheap Amazon, the Chinese, standard grade ones, and they work great in these. I feel like regular countersinks, they're just never as sharp as I want them to be, and with this addition of the insert, it really, it just makes a beautiful, nice shiny radius. You can use it for breaking an edge, or chamfering on an edge, for countersinking. So found it really handy. So maybe you guys will too. All right, so this one is something I use all the time. At first I thought my wife was kidding about not wanting to get steel in her foot, but I realized quickly that she was pretty serious about it. So this is a real handy little tool. You can run this over your shoes, over your clothes. Not really good for machine pickup because obviously it's a pretty strong magnet, so you'll find yourself, picking up something and then smashing into your tool post or something with it, and so it's kind of sketchy with that. But great for floor pickup. You just basically pull, it picks up all the little pieces. Maybe we can give an example here. So you can see it drop that stuff that just happened to be on there. Okay, and you come over, you sweep this across, and you picked up all your stuff. Okay, and it's all safely stowed away here. And then what you do is you pull the handle in the back, okay, and then it releases all the little parts, and you can see them there. So really handy little tool. Use it, like I say, just about every day, and just kind of keeps stuff off your shoes, and you know, makes you kind of feel a little bit more confident about walking in your house. So anyway, hope you guys might find some use out of that one. All right, guys. So this is kind of one for me that was a game changer. You know, I've been experimenting since the time I got into this with, you know, surface finish, and, you know, you watch these guys on YouTube and you go, wow, look at this, you know, this giant machine. But you don't realize that, you know, you just can't, you're not going to get there with the machine you have. But with a little bit of black magic, you can kind of almost make it happen. And I feel like these tool holders here are kind of a, you know, a black magic in a way. So if you look at these are I believe these are TPMT 32. Okay, so that's like what you'd see in like a face mill. They're real common for that. But these cut absolutely wonderful. They have that really, really steep positive rake angle there, as you can see. Okay, and that really works wonders on old machines. At least on mine, it does. And that's a 1919, you know, that's an old pulley, you know, belt drive, leather belt, the whole thing. So really, really great tools. Obviously, you guys could see I hope you can see all the numbers there if you need them. But Shars always does that. I love that. It really makes it helpful. And if you reference their book, you know, it makes it even easier. You get their catalog. So if you do an order with them, obviously they're going to send you a catalog, and there's a lot of information in that book, you know, that can be helpful in a lot of different areas. So that's something I almost use as a, you know, a little black book of sorts, because there's a lot of information in there. All right, so let me get the next thing set up here. Okay, guys. So next up here, to me, this is the gem. These are the Er40 collets. Okay, this is what they look like over here if you never have seen one. They're fairly small, about 1 3/4 inches top to bottom, and they range in sizes all the way up to, I think, 1 inch. So it's great. It's a 29-piece set, about $150, $180 last I checked, and you know, you get a solid set of collets that are really versatile. Now we'll go through some of the things here. So the first thing I got was the collet chuck here. Made a back plate for it, and I used it in my lathe, and I liked it very much. You know, it was very accurate, and I used it for many different projects. And then I kind of stumbled upon these collet blocks here. Okay, so these use the exact same Er40 collet. Okay, same retaining nut on top. This is the wrench over here. Okay, that comes with the chuck. So these are great because you can put this is 6-sided here. You could throw this in your 3-jaw chuck in your lathe. You can let's say you wanted to turn a bolt. You know, you can turn an area down up to a shoulder, and then you can throw this in your mill and set your machine half your distance and zip around the thing, and you'll have a bolt head just like that. So really handy for holding small parts and drilling, tapping, things like that. They really, you know, firm hold on this in the collet, and then you put this in your vise, and it really gives you a good feeling in your stomach, you know. This one you can put in a 4-jaw, you can indicate it, you can take it out, put it back in, you know, flip a part around. There's so many things you can do with these. They're really, really versatile. They don't have quite the holding area that the 5C or the R8 collets have, but I've never had an issue with them. You know, they always square up nice. And the only thing I will say is you have to have a way to hold them. So you have to be able to use your back ear, or they do provide you with some holes on the side here. I made a screwdriver that went in there, you know, a round dowel basically that went in there, and it worked out great. But really, really worth the investment. The R8 adapter here for the milling machine, with some of these funky metric sizes that you're getting these days, you know, it's hard to have the right tool, and I just don't like to put a milling cutter into like an end mill or something in a drill chuck. It just doesn't work for me. I can't do it, and this is really come in handy for that. So You know, I'm sure there's many more uses. There's many more parts of this ER40 collet setup, but really good stuff. They make a little indexer and stuff for these. So really great. If you guys haven't checked them out, you might want to do so. Okay, guys, that's going to wrap things up for today. Much appreciated as always. I hope you guys found something in here that'll be useful to you in your shop. As always, if you guys need any information on anything, feel free to you know, send me a message, and if I can give it to you, I will. All right, so please like, comment, subscribe. It's always appreciated, and I'll catch you next time around.